All right, these are live visuals coming to you from the BJP headquarters in the capital, 9 Ashoka Road, where in a short Prime Minister will be interacting with editors and journalists from print and electronic media. This is a part of the Diwali Milan program from the side of the Prime Minister, organized by BJP Chief Amit Shah. There you have it, Prime Minister Narendra Modi arriving at the BJP headquarters, being received by Amit Shah with a bouquet, a bunch of flowers, JP Nadda as well, other senior leaders, including the Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar, present at the venue. In fact, in a short while from now, we'll see Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking the podium, interacting with top journalists that have already, in fact, been seated in that hall inside of the BJP headquarters. Over there, the program is supposed to last about 1 hour. This is the first time, in fact, that Prime Minister Modi, after taking charge in the 5 months that he has as the Prime Minister, will be interacting with the media persons directly. First out. Brajesh Pandey, my colleague, joining me over the phone line. He's also there, in fact, in that hall right now. Brajesh, this also marks a change in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's stance. Previously, he's now, it seems, more open to the idea of being free with the journalists.
Well, yes, Sana, this has come after, ever since he has assumed office, he has not had a formal interaction with journalists, and his whole staff, cabinet ministers and party leaders have been maintaining a very safe distance from media. But today, after the Maharashtra and Haryana results, it seems that the party, especially the Prime Minister, is on a more confident footing, and this is reflecting on this informal interaction with top editors and journalists who cover Bharatiya Janata Party. Sana?
Right. Brajesh, is he going to take on questions directly as well? What are you hearing? What's the buzz?
Well, the Prime Minister has arrived, and along with the Prime Minister, Party President Amit Shah, Information Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar, Home Minister Rajnath Singh, they all have arrived, and they have just arrived, and it looks like after some time the Prime Minister will come down from the dais and he will interact with editors and journalists alike.
Right. In fact, we can see these visuals playing out live right now from the BJP headquarters. Sushma Swaraj, Amit Shah, Prime Minister Modi, and next to him is Rajnath Singh as well. Other senior members also expected to be there. Brajesh, who all, apart from these top names that I've mentioned, are there in this Diwali Milan program?
Well, the Secretary of the Parliamentary Board, JP Nadda, is here. Apart from that, General Secretary Muralidhar Rao is here. Power Minister Piyush Goyal is here. Information External Minister Sushma Swaraj is here. Several BJP senior leaders, they are present here. And on the dais, only 4 to 5 leaders, including BJP President, Home Minister, External Affairs Minister, and Party Secretary Nadda, are along with the Prime Minister, sitting there on the dais. Sana?
Right. Brajesh, also very quickly, any moment that interaction can begin now. We have seen Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister take new initiatives, starting some new things, never been done before, really. And this also seems to be a kind of a unique effort because, he is directly, willingly, in fact, has invited all these top journalists. And now, the aversion that he had earlier seems to be going away.
Well, we can't say for sure whether the aversion is going away or not, but one thing is for sure that, we have been in our formal interaction with the BJP President, Mr. Amit Shah. He has said that, it's been a while before the Prime Minister didn't have an interaction with reporters and editors, especially those reporters who cover BJP as a political beat. And he has said that very soon the Prime Minister will have an interaction with almost all the journalists who cover BJP as a beat. And this is in a culmination of that particular promise made by BJP President Amit Shah. And today all the top editors and the reporters who cover this beat have been invited to interact with the top echelons of the BJP party.
Right. Brajesh, there will be some interesting questions, I'm sure, being put up from all journalists to Prime Minister Modi. But what is the sense that you as a journalist are getting, out of this meeting that we're seeing, this interaction?
Well, it is definitely a unique opportunity because ever since the Prime Minister has taken over, he has been extremely reticent in interacting with the media. And this has gone ahead with the other party functionaries also. So this definitely presents a very unique opportunity to us to interact with the Prime Minister and have a first-hand understanding of what is thinking on vital issues.
The BJP extremely confident at this point in time, especially after the results in Haryana and Maharashtra, and perhaps the timing was also very apt for the BJP. As you've been telling us, this is a yearly affair, of course, the Diwali Milan, but the timing is very appropriate, also for holding such an event.
Well, yes, and it couldn't have been more appropriate because, immediately just before Diwali, they won two major victories in states which either they were a very, very minor player or they're just playing the role of younger brother. But in both these states, they not only took very big risk, but they were also rewarded hugely with then forming a government in Haryana and almost on the verge of forming government in Maharashtra. So these two electoral victories also saw him being extremely gung-ho about the whole arrangement. And since this Diwali Milan happened immediately after that, so this seemed a very appropriate occasion and for the top BJP brass. And this is what explains the whole program and that being attended by the Prime Minister. And going by the way he is interacting with media, he seems very, very relaxed. And the way the whole atmosphere is that the Prime Minister is extremely relaxed about the whole event.
Right. In fact, stay on with me. Executive Editor Javed Ansari is also on the phone line with me right now. Javed, I saw you on the screen over there. Did you get a word with the Prime Minister? Were you able to interact?
I did get a word with the Prime Minister. He came up and wished everybody happy Diwali, and then he had a word for everybody. He told me, "Aap to Kashi wale ho, mere saath Kashi chalo." So right. He appeared very relaxed. He was in a very informal mood, and he's going around shaking hands with almost everybody. This is something that we haven't seen too many Prime Ministers do this in the past.
Absolutely. In fact, what is the feeling that you get, Javed? Of course, there's a lot of talk and of his address as well. It was quite nuanced and to the point, really.
Yeah, he used this occasion to again focus attention on Swachh Bharat. He thanked the media for highlighting it, saying that the amount that's been written and spoken about, nobody else. And he says for once the media has played a very constructive role, and he thanked the media for it. He used this occasion once again to focus on one of his prime projects, which is the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan.
All right, we'll be talking more about this, but for the moment, Javed, thanks so much for joining me. Also, Brijesh Pandey for getting us the latest inputs from the BJP headquarters in Delhi. Right, in fact, we'll be getting more inputs from the ground. Javed, if you're on the line with me, I'd also like to take your inputs on the hint that the Prime Minister really gave on how he expects to hold these sessions with the journalists more often to make this a continued practice. All right, we'll try and get Javed back on the line with us. But the Prime Minister, as Brijesh was telling us as well, expected to be there for at least half an hour more, taking out time, meeting every journalist, every editor one by one, and sharing one-liners with them as well. Also, earlier on, he was speaking about his Clean India campaign, thanking reporters for writing about it, for talking about it, and also hinting at a possibility that he might just make this a regular feature, the meeting with the journalist on and off, and seeming quite relaxed over there. Prime Minister Modi, a brief tea program is scheduled after this. Rahul Kaval, in fact, on the line with me. Rahul, give us a sense of, your interaction with Prime Minister Modi there.
Well, this is the first time that the Prime Minister is interacting with journalists publicly ever since he was sworn in, and therefore a huge amount of curiosity and lots of lament as well. Each cabinet minister, and especially the Prime Minister, when he's going around talking to people, journalists complaining that aap milte nahi hai, aapko aur bulana chahiye, aapne to milna band kar diya hai. And the Prime Minister had an interesting tale to narrate. He says, this is the same BJP headquarters where I used to lay out chairs for all of you journalists when I was spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party way back in the 90s. And that is a reality. It also shows how he's moving. It is a big moment for everybody here in the media cell who put this together. This is really something that journalists were also looking forward to, because it's the first time that he's come out and met journalists. However, he hasn't taken any questions. He hasn't given any structured answers, which is a bit of a disappointment, because people were looking for the opportunity to ask the Prime Minister some questions. That didn't happen at all. during this interaction, but he did promise when he was speaking from the podium that he will try and create an opportunity for an interaction with journalists in the weeks to come. And that, I think, is key, because while the government does what it can, it cannot be a one-way agenda where there's only a flow of information through Twitter or social media. Questions need to be asked and those questions need to be answered. And I think that's the key message that journalists were trying to press home. And the Prime Minister said that he will try and correct this. Now, whether or not it happens, we don't know yet. But for the time being, what you have is a Diwali promise that he will implement it over the next week.
Absolutely. That's going to be very interesting in case that happens. Meeting the journalists becomes a regular feature in the Prime Minister's itinerary, Rahul. But also, the timing is very crucial. This Diwali Milan also coming right after the massive victory in Haryana and Maharashtra. So the BJP also very confident at this time, and the timing absolutely seems appropriate.
No, that's true, because a lot of the questions that could have been asked have actually been answered. If you look at the slew of reform measures they've announced over the last couple of days, it may not be everything that people were looking out for, but the wheels of economic reform have begun to move. He's had a resounding victory in Maharashtra, one in Haryana, both of which suggest that the Modi wave is still well and alive. So a lot of the arrows that could have possibly been fired the Prime Minister's way, the people have answered, his government has answered. So he comes on a very strong footing. A footing not on the back of, say, significant reverses in assembly by-polls, which was the case a few weeks earlier. He comes on the back of big victories in two crucial states of Maharashtra and Haryana. So in that sense, here's a Prime Minister whose position is still very strong. It hasn't weakened despite being in government. In fact, it has strengthened, and that is a Prime Minister who's now interacting with journalists. He's currently with a whole bunch of beat correspondents. He met with the editors first, and now he's with a whole bunch of beat correspondents, and he's a Prime Minister who's speaking from a position of authority. The good thing has been that there's also Rajnath Singh here, there's Sushma Swaraj, there's Amit Shah, there's Vinay Sahasrabudhe, Ramlal, Jaiprakash Nadda, all the key BJP functionaries, the key BJP ministers, they're all here. They're all speaking to journalists. Hopefully some stories will emerge from the conversations they're having. And in that sense, it's good, because these are people who, under the Modi regime, have been very reluctant to open up as freely or as frequently as they would earlier. There's been a virtual iron curtain on the outflow of information. In that sense, this is different. While the Prime Minister himself may not be giving news.